Live from the Export Beer Garden studio and brought to you by Export Ultra, the beer for a monster weekend of sport. This is the Agenda podcast for Monday, the 17th of June.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Welcome into the podcast. At the time of recording, it's about 10:07, so we're watching the final round of the US Open. Rory McIlroy has just knocked the ball off his tee accidentally on the 16th hole. He still has a share of the lead at 6 under. DeChambeau, though, really walking him down with a hole in hand. So we'll be watching that nervously. We got on Scheffler.
Terrible. Didn't even make the cut.
He didn't even make the cut. I still don't think it was a bet. I mean, obviously, hindsight.
Yeah.
But I still don't think it was a bad bet. McIlroy, I mean, my theory was that the biggest hindrance to my golfing experience is that my partner's at home being like, when are you going to be home?
Yeah, how long are you going to be?
How long are you going to be?
How long does 18 holes take?
Yeah.
And well, it depends. It depends how many people are on the course.
And why do you keep
when are you going to be
showing
back?
up wasted after the...
Yeah. So do you think that affects your game?
And I thought that surely if he had no partner... Oh, he's just hit it into a bucket. I thought for sure that if he
you don't have someone nagging.
Eliminated that, then surely that would only impact him. I guess I don't get golf. I guess I just don't understand golf.
Yeah, we did predict that he can't close a divorce. He won't be able to close a major.
I mean, he still has 2 holes to shit the bed.
Yeah, that's true. This is true.
As Sam Penny now lines up a halfback and absolutely drills him into the turf. Massive weekend of sport, but also a massive weekend for you as well, Lane. You hosted a fundraiser over the weekend?
Yeah, the North Shore Rugby Club Junior Quiz Night. When I say juniors, it was the parents of the juniors.
Yeah, right.
So 280 people crammed into the club. We had a quiz, it was dress-ups. The level of steam was quite something, but the perfect level of steam to rinse them of enough money. So
yeah, right.
34 grand we raised at the club to help buy some new shirts and new jerseys and whatnot. It's a tough crowd. It's like kind of, kids listen to adults when they shout because, there's consequences. Adults are far worse because there's no consequence. They don't care. And so it was quite an unruly crowd. I might have said shut the fuck up maybe 20 times. And I actually just started pointing out individual people and telling them to shut the fuck up. And I got accused of picking on a certain gender. And I said, no, it's nothing to do with genders. You just won't shut the fuck up, okay? So the problem is you, not me. And so afterwards it was quite funny. A bit of feedback was like, geez, you got stuck into it, didn't you? And I was like, well, you wouldn't shut the fuck up. And then another guy whose gag all night was to yell Jonathan Thurston at me.
Very cool.
Every question. So you go, what such and such? He goes, Jonathan Thurston. I was like... And I just had to stop and said, mate, if you're yelling Jonathan Thurston at me, you actually sound a little bit retarded. And as soon as I said the word retarded, I was like, oh, God, I'm going to get hit up after the quiz with someone who's got a child, whatever. But luckily not. They kind of found the joy in it. And he kept on saying it. And then I had to go down the whole carer line. Is his carer here? Can his carer please come take him away?
I guess his problem at that point was obviously also really probably wasted.
Oh, hammered.
But I think his problem is once he'd called it out, he couldn't back down. And so now his only choice was to just keep yelling Jonathan Thurston. It is tough, particularly when I presume you probably weren't drinking as much as the rest of them.
No, because I had to organise it all. And look, my advice would be if you're going to run a quiz in a rugby club, all the parents, they're all dressed up. It was a great night.
Yeah.
And normally we clear the tables away and start a dance floor. But everyone got up and just started dancing on their chairs. So we couldn't remove the tables because they were just going crazy. There was the Addams family table. There was a table dressed as Margaret Thatcher. The best table was the Ken and Barbie table. And they'd all bought like Lycra, fluoro gym outfits. But it's couples, mainly just, husband and wives because their kids are all playing there.
Yeah.
The husbands were in charge of the costumes and they ordered like way too smaller leotards for their partners. So their partners had these hot pants and basically G-string leotards and all the dudes would just go, and the girls were not happy.
Maybe
but that was one for the dads. No, there was Cowboys, there was Brokeback Mountain, there was Baby Reindeer. One table was Baby Reindeer and one of the girls dressed up as the crazy chick and spitting image of her. Like it was scary. It was dangerously. A couple of bad Santa tables. It was one of the great nights, but I ended up, you enjoy this, on Saturday after the Chiefs game.
Yeah.
Finished the Chiefs game, was pretty pumped. and I went to the toilet and had a small issue with my bowel. Now, I just had a colonoscopy 10 days ago. Anyway, I'll cut a long story short. I ended up in North Shore Hospital all day yesterday.
Oh, shit.
After losing a litre of blood out my anus.
Oh, shit.
and it was mildly annoying, but obviously something had happened down there, and so I was losing a lot of blood down there every time.
Bleeding out of his ass.
And I couldn't trust a fart. And early on, I didn't really know what was going on. And I went to a party on Saturday night. It was like a big ball. Like everyone was dressed up quite flash. And I went, luckily, the toilets were full, so I went outside and peed in the bush.
Right.
But I peed in the bush, and I trusted a fart, completely shat myself.
On Saturday night.
Yeah, and
Wow.
so luckily the ball was only about 500 metres from my house, and I was outside in the dark and no one witnessed it.
So you just like see it.
So I just gapped it back home. The kids were all awake with the babysitter. They're, what are you doing home? He goes, I spilt red wine on my jeans. Run upstairs, have a shower, wash the jeans out.
And went back in.
I went back. But I went back, so I had to explain my absence, and then I went home again, and then throughout the night I lost a lot of blood. Because it just kept coming out. Like the only thing holding it in was my sphincter.
Yeah.
Anyway, to cut a long story short, I spent the day in North Shore Hospital. I was fine. The bleeding stopped, but the nurse in the emergency department, in the surgical department, his name was Brittany.
Yeah.
And Brittany was really lovely. Young doctor, blonde, kind of dark eyes.
Did you walk in? Did she walk in and say it's Brittany, bitch?
No, but she was lovely. And she kind of had to say, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to
Inspect the area.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, this is you don't have to. I said, you don't have to do this. And she goes, I kind of have to. It's like, you don't have to. She goes, no, I do.
I swore an oath.
And so I had to roll over, and this young, blonde,
Britney
Spears type doctor had to then look. It was the highlight and the low light of my time in hospital was getting a finger in my ass from a young blonde doctor.
Oh. And what did she do? Stitch you back up again?
No, she just had a look around there just to see it, because the bleeding had stopped by then, so it was fine. But so they sent me home, but it was a good 8 hours in hospital. It's not a great place, hospital, but geez, there were some crazies there. Holy shit.
It's degrading. Hospital.
Oh, apart from the finger up the ass, it was a really terrible Sunday.
Yeah. So what? Did the camera knock something loose or something?
Yeah. No, what happened?
Right.
No, they took something out. They took a little polyp out, and that just ruptured again where they took it out.
When you trusted that fart.
Yeah, don't like. That was the worst. And I had to come back, and they go, "Where you been?" I said, "I just had to."
Literally ripped us.
I just had to say, "Shit myself," and people go, I was like, "No, I did." Anyway, how was your Sunday?
I like to think that the guy that was yelling Jonathan Thurston that you told to shut the fuck up is listening to this podcast. He's like, hey,
Sucked it.
sucked it. Suck it.
Hell of a weekend. Hell of a weekend.
I was saying that it was a massive weekend of sport, but it actually wasn't. It was a massive Friday and Saturday of sport.
Yeah.
Sunday rather uneventful up until now. And I've now found out that you had enough events on Sunday for us all. Let's get into the actual sport, because the semi-finals kicked off. We're going to go in reverse order because I think the most important game was the Chiefs versus the Canes. Here's how the end of that one sounded.
Time is up on the clock. Time is up. Chiefs. Manaia! Rowe's got it. He'll kick it into the stands. The Chiefs, Mana, they win the semi-final. 30 points to 19. Mana's in the air. Sing it, New Zealand. Mana's in the air. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, Mana was in there, 30 points to 19 in the end, you and McConey. And at one point through the commentary, McConey just left to go make himself a cup of tea. What happened there?
He was an absolute wreck. Like McConey, absolute wreck.
So that was nerves.
Nerves. He couldn't handle it. He was leaving the commentary box. He was going to make cups of tea, just leaving me on my own. It's like, not that I wasn't nervous. I'm a bigger Chiefs Mana fan than him. But you got to do your job.
Yeah.
But he just chose, nah, I'm out. I'm going to go make a cup of tea. Like, go have a stiff whiskey or something. Come back with a tea, you massive puss.
But also, like, in the middle of a live broadcast,
Yeah.
a glass of water, maybe I could understand if you were choking.
Yeah.
But to go and, like, put the kettle on, get the tea bag,
Wait for the tea. Yeah.
wait for the tea,
Yeah.
check the milk, is it off?
Yeah, and then come back and then just not even contribute either. Just go, But yeah, we got a lot of criticism, as we always do, through the text machine. I'm surprised any Hurricanes fans tuned into Sky Sport 9 or iHeartRadio for that. because it was blatantly one-sided. We were yelling at the yellow cards.
But I think that this is the thing about us is that we are the only clearly biased commentary team that don't pretend to be anything else.
Yeah.
I feel like the mainstream commentary is quite often just as biased, but they pretend to be unbiased. Like, bullshit. We know you've got an allegiance here.
They played well, the Chiefs, and if I was the Blues, I'd be shaking in my boots.
They played incredibly. That's not how I saw that game going at all. And also, I felt like Wellington really did not get. They couldn't string things together. Nah. They were knocking it on. They looked awful, and I felt like, even though I didn't have a dog in the fight, I actually quite felt bad for Canes fans because I was like, this is disappointing. Every time they try and get something going, it doesn't happen. And then the tries that the Chiefs were scoring were out of nowhere. They were miraculous, a lot of them.
Side titty. Great.
Wallace side titty. The power of the side titty was on full display on the weekend.
Yeah.
They were saying it's an audition for the number 8 for the All Blacks jersey. I think Hoskins Satudu has something to say about that.
Yeah.
But Wallace side titty looked absolutely incredible. He was into everything. He doesn't look like he's a massively imposing dude. He's probably a bit more of a rangy sort of number 8.
He's quick off the back, though. When that ball comes to the back, it scoops and goes. It's like almost too quick.
It is. He looked excellent. The power of the side titty was distracting. It is distracting, when there's one in the room.
Yeah.
You can't help but look at it, and you try not to.
Yeah,
and I think that too often the Hurricanes got caught looking at the side titty.
Yeah,
and that's where they fell down a little bit.
I agree.
I think the narwhal as well had a.
Oh, how was the one-handed trickery he was going? He was like waving the ball around like a wand, and then just passing. I think the Hurricanes go, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Ooh, sleight of hand. Ooh. Look at the ball. Here it is. Now it's over here. Now it's back here. It was like a card trick. That is a coach killer if that doesn't go to hand.
Oh, yeah.
I think he got away with one there.
Yes.
Because I was watching it as he was doing it. He did it twice, the old arm over the top move, and then he did a backhand flick.
Because all it requires is one player just to whack his arm.
To whack the arm, yeah. And then, because when he was taking off with the ball in one hand, he didn't need to. He could have had it in both hands. He was about 10 metres away from the nearest defender, and he already knew what he was going to do. He's like, I'm going to do some windmill bullshit, and then a backhand flick to Finau for a try. If it comes off, it looks amazing. That's exactly what happened.
Yep.
I think he probably has to be on one of the wings for the All Blacks this year.
Yeah, well, he was a definite starter before the World Cup, before he
did his back
in. Look, the Hurricanes, don't despair. You've got a good team, and they're a young team, and that entire squad will be back next year.
Yeah.
There is no one in that team that I don't believe is going overseas or going anywhere, so they'll only get better.
And you had some big outs as well, some injuries.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think it was probably just a year too early. This is probably about where the season. I think that if I was a Canes fan, I would have talked myself into we're going to win the whole thing this year. But unfortunately not to be. But
you know what, Canes fans? You didn't deserve to win because you couldn't even sell out the stadium, Sky Stadium, on a Saturday afternoon.
Yep.
The weather was great. Semi-final versus the Chiefs, and still there were probably about 10,000 empty seats.
Yeah, I will say it looked a damn sight better than Eden Park did on the Friday night.
That's true.
That was dismal. That one ended 34 points to 20, but to be honest, that game was all over after about 20 minutes. The Chiefs, the Blues rather, they scored about 20 points in the first 20 minutes, and after that, it was quite honestly a bit of it was turgid. It was a bit of a blowout. We were taking texts on 3236. When was your latest or biggest blowout? A lot of those we couldn't broadcast, and we're pretty loose on the broadcast. There was a massive dry spell for the Brumbies where they didn't score, so we asked people to text in their dry spells. It was so sad. It was so sad we had to bin that as well. Because the people just like, am I even capable of love anymore? But yeah, I think just a dismal turnout. And unfortunately for Super Rugby, the Blues will be hosting the final now.
No, but hey, the Mana bus convoy is coming.
Yeah.
I shit you not, that motorway is going to be chocker. We've got the expressway now. We've got the bypass, Huntley bypass.
Yeah.
The Mana bus convoy, I reckon there's going to be at least 10 to 20,000 Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
Will make the trip up the motorway.
Leave early.
For shit, yeah. You want to leave midday.
This is why I can't understand why. I know there is a train, but Greg Preble from Radio Hodaki, he lives in Hamilton, and even he doesn't take the train.
It's quicker to drive.
It's quicker to drive.
It's quicker to run.
Which is ridiculous because there should be, it's only an hour. In theory, it should be an hour by train from Hamilton to Auckland.
Mana train. Get the Mana train.
You're telling me you couldn't get people on to just piss up on the train all the way through to Auckland, go to the game, and then go home? that's ridiculous that can't happen.
Well, they have to catch the train all the way in to Britomart and then catch another one out to Eden Park.
It's just insane to me.
I book out every single Simpsons bus or whatever this Hamilton bus company and get the convoy going. Stop at the Rangariri for a beer.
Yeah.
And then just climb. This is old school. This is like the old school kind of early 90s Ramfley Shield challenges.
Yeah.
We used to gather at the Hillcrest. They used to book 20 buses. But back of windscreens were getting kicked out on the motorway. Roll in, drop us off the terraces, have a massive rumble under the terraces, get back on the bus and head back to the hilly and be home by 10.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
So the Mana bus is coming this weekend. We just saw Bryson DeChambeau leave a putt short on the 17th. Him and McIlroy are still tied on 6 under, so that could be the death of him.
Hey, but in the weekend also, big Saturday, we had the winner of our Export Ultra Beer Garden Tour. Big congratulations to James Hunt.
Yes.
Him and a mate will be joining us in Munich.
He sounded pretty fizzed up.
Yeah, he had his mates around. They were watching the footy as well, so he's going to have to choose between his friends now who's going to go.
One of them gave a great audition.
Yes.
By just screaming in the background after he'd won.
So
it could be him.
So, congratulations to James. But we do have another trip to give away, or we don't. Radio Hodaki does.
Yeah. For
you and a mate to join Manaia, myself, Jeremy Wells, and the rest of the team over in Munich. So if you do want to win that, just tune in to Radio Hodaki weekdays. Listen for the activator there, and you and a mate could be joining us on that. So hope is not lost.
I've seen a early doors itinerary come through.
Oh, yeah.
It is equal parts exciting and terrifying.
Just to throw it out there, potentially we may be going through Amsterdam.
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm seeing, and I'd be quite excited too. But
how's your life insurance? Have you got that?
I don't have life insurance. No.
Is life insurance covered overseas?
I don't think so. I don't know.
I might have to check that.
I think I don't know, but
I got travel insurance. We get travel insurance through work.
Oh, we do?
Yeah,
perfect.
But I'm not sure it's life insurance because I got life insurance separately, so I don't know if that
covers your life insurance. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm even welcome back in Amsterdam. I had my 23rd birthday there, and I got tossed out almost every bar I was in. But anyway, that's a story for another time. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, there's plenty more sport that we haven't yet got to. Tony Finau lining up at the 17th hole. We'll keep you posted on the US Open as well. Oh, big Bryson DeChambeau. He's going to waggle it a little bit.
Crush it.
Dead straight arms. Slight bend in the knee.
Crush it. Crush it, you pussy.
He is really taking his time. He's hovering the club, winds back, swings as hard as humanly possible. And it's gone a little bit too far. It's gone way too... It's hit someone.
He's at a boomer.
I can't understand how often people get hit at these golf events. There's only one dude hitting at a time. How are you not watching that? Like if there's a buzz...
Admittedly, after 18 holes, I'm not watching. You're in the crowd crushing beers. I'm not watching. Anyway.
The Cricket World Cup carries on, and the Black Caps have secured a famous victory against the cricketing stronghold of Uganda.
Yeah, jeez.
Finally got one back. I can't remember the last time we beat Uganda.
You're off the mark.
We're off the mark.
We're away.
And in roaring fashion. It only took us 5 overs to track down, 41 runs, was it?
Yeah, 40 to win. Was it 41? I don't know, but 41 to win. But yes, it was predictable. The only thing that made that game interesting was I really got Jason Hoyt into live gambling.
Oh, really?
So it really got him fizzing, actually. I was like, Jace, next wicket, what method? And he goes, LBW. And it happened. And he goes, oh. And I go, what, next one? And he's like, caught behind by the keeper. So, and that was paying $9. Boom, caught behind keeper. And
caught behind keeper was paying $9? Wow.
Yeah. And it was like, and he was like, oh. And you could see him like physically go, ooh, okay, let's make this game interesting.
I could turn my life upside down with this.
Yeah, and I put 50 on a wicket falling in the first over, and we were bowling.
Yeah.
Trenty got 2. One bowled, one LBW. Like, it was always going to happen. And that was paying $350. I was like, I mean, if you're listening, you're going to watch tonight at 2:30 in the morning against Papua New Guinea.
Is that tonight?
Yeah, it's 2:30 in the morning tonight. But yeah, like, fuck, it is Uganda. Like, we humped them.
Yeah.
They looked like a last man stands team. It wasn't great.
They looked like they were making up numbers.
Well, they almost batted out their 20 overs for that 39, 40 runs.
That is disgusting.
I know, it is disgusting.
Actually disgusting from our bowling attack, not them. That's what they had to do.
Yeah, we bowled. We considering bowled pretty well. Batsman came in. Finn Allen got caught down the leg side. A little bit unlucky.
I don't think it was a foregone conclusion that we were going to win this game because we don't have a great track record against teams that have been under, war-torn regimes.
Civil war.
Yeah. Teams that have had multiple civil wars in the last few decades generally do quite well against us.
Yeah, Pakistan and Afghanistan.
Yeah. I mean, we just don't do well against teams who have suffered genocides. And that's why I was a little worried going into this one. But no, yeah, we did take it out. And the long and short of that is nothing. We're still out. We're still playing Papua New Guinea. Are we commentating that tonight?
Yes, I am. So I was just thinking, has there ever been a better definition for a dead rubber than this game, New Zealand versus Papua New Guinea, at 2:30 in the morning, a game neither side does not make a difference whether they win, lose, or draw. It is the epitome of a dead rubber. Now, my challenge is I'm going to have to get up at 2:15 and commentate it. Luckily, Mash is going to come in early for his breakfast show, and and then I've got Mark Kelly who's coming in early for his breakfast show to produce it. My challenge is I can't be asked. So anyone who's watching, if you're up and watching, give us a call, 0800 ACC 6969, and you can commentate.
Commentate it with you.
I'll have a sleep. You guys, you take the reins. I don't care.
Now, I've listened to a bit of talkback radio in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And it invariably, without any variance at all, it turns racist. Like almost straight away. So I'm a little concerned. This is not talkback. I'm a little concerned. It's not talkback, but it is the same people that call into talkback stations at 2:30 in the morning. So if you're a truck driver or whatever, still going in the middle of the night, give us a call. But I just guarantee you that it will turn racist. Just quickly, McIlroy, filthy Irishman, he has just finished his 18th hole. He is 5 under. He's dropped the shot on DeChambeau. DeChambeau has 1 hole left to duff it and bring McIlroy back into the lead, but I don't think he will. And thankfully for us, looks like maybe we do get golf because he's not going to win. Super 8 are all but decided now, I think. I was looking, they're mostly penciled in. Afghanistan, for fuck's sake, Australia, India, England, South Africa, the USA, of course, because they beat Pakistan.
Yes.
The West Indies, and then one of either Bangladesh or the Netherlands are going to be going in there from that final group. So,
yeah, look, I
thought Pakistan were going to win the whole thing, but I was wrong.
They're you never know. They're like the West Indies. But Australia looks dangerously good. They were in a spot of bother for a little while there against Ireland, I think.
Yeah, then old Tim David came out and just started slapping it around.
Yeah, and Stoinis. They've just got such depth there that brought them home.
And athletes too. I think that's the thing that they've figured out that the rest of the world hasn't quite got there on. Like, they've got jacked dudes out there.
Stoinis is jacked.
Stoinis is ridiculously jacked. Tim David's jacked as well. And I think that we are lacking behind. You know, we got Glenn Phillips in there, but I think that cricket players in general, like golf players, need to start getting real jacked. So yeah, I don't know, but it's gonna get. So the Super 8, I think, kicks off probably later on in the week. Yeah, there's still quite a few pool games to go, which is quite disappointing. It is. They need to change the format, perhaps, just so that it's not such a dead rubber.
But I quite like that Super 8 format. I quite like that because it was something they did a few years ago during the Cricket World Cup.
The Super 8, but the 4 pools and then immediately game 2 we knew we were out.
Yeah, that's our fault, though.
It is our fault, but maybe did they switch to... Because wasn't the ODI World Cup 2 pools?
Yes, and it was points-based. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. There's got to be a way that we can get in there.
Yeah, that's disappointing from us. I mean, the reason we're out is we obviously thought we'd treat the pool games as our warm-ups.
Yeah.
Without even taking into consideration we'd lose against Afghanistan. As soon as that happened, it was like, shit.
Yeah. Anyway, let's park the Cricket World Cup for now. The Warriors lost on the weekend. Look, we'll do a deep dive on this. Me and Di Henwood later on the Mad Monday podcast. DWZ, chances are he's going to miss next week at least for a head-high tackle on a man that did not have the ball.
Oh, yeah.
On top of that, Marcelo Montoya, they took a tap and go, the Melbourne Storm. Marcelo was standing about 3 feet away from the guy who tapped the ball, tackled him and threw him over the sideline. The rest like, what the fuck? You can't do that. And so he got binned as well. We conceded 2 tries over the course of both those binnings. So, but look, I got to be honest with you. I think it was 30-24 maybe 32, 24.
Started well.
Started very well. But that's probably about the score you would expect. They are at the top of the table, and they've been looking excellent. We jagged a few wins that we probably shouldn't have. We lost a few that we should have. A bunch of players came back. It was a bit disrupted. So it's not all doom and gloom for the Warriors, although there are a few injuries. State of origin, there may be a big call as DeChambeau shanks this one into the bunker.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no. So DeChambeau could potentially drop on. We might have a playoff here. Warriors lost. We'll do a deep dive on that later on in the Mad Monday podcast. But
tell me,
more interesting than that, we have an NRL off-field scandal. Ring the alarm. Sound the siren.
Yes.
We've got an off-field scandal.
Yes.
A Cronulla junior player has been told to cover up a homophobic tattoo or be barred from playing in the New South Wales Rugby League's sanctioned competition. This was after he played on the weekend. Buzz Rothfield saw the tattoos, hit up the club. They said, we've talked to him. I've printed them on the thing, but I can't quite read those. What do they say?
So his right thigh, and we're talking, it's like kind of below the groin, kind of heart, but three quarters of the way up.
It's quite high up the thigh, but league shorts are short.
Yeah. On the right side, it says "eat shit, faggot." And then it's in cursive writing as well.
Yes.
And then on the left leg, it carries on with snort lines and fuck.
This is very rugby league. I don't even know this guy's name because he plays in the New South Wales Cup for Cronulla. What was going through his mind when he got this? Somebody said he must have lost a bet. I don't know.
Did he hang out in Bali for a week too long?
That could be a problem. They'll tattoo anything over there. They don't care.
So yeah, I mean, if this was tattooed on a NPC player,
yes,
all hell would break loose.
I think the interesting thing about that is he wouldn't have made the team. The coach wouldn't have picked him. But in rugby league, that's like, well, I don't care.
So this guy's been told just to wear bike pants now.
No, yeah, or tape, or he's going to tape his thighs, like get the lifters on.
Eat shit, faggot.
And
snort lines and fuck.
Snort lines and fuck. That is not a tattoo that someone gets whilst sober.
If you want to see that, jump on the ACC socials, ACCNZ on Instagram or Facebook. Check it out. It's not made up.
It is 100% real. And DeChambeau has hit one to within 3 feet of the pin, out of the sand. That is shot of the day, potentially to win the US Open. He's marching up to sink the putt. That is powerful stuff.
McElroy couldn't close it.
McElroy's back in the club rooms with what looks to be a what are those ice blocks that are like milk? You know those ones?
Oh, yeah.
He's got one of those. Not a juicy. A moosey? I don't know. Anyway.
Something else. A moosey, something else.
The Euros are going on at the moment. There are a bunch of games going on throughout the week. I think what we'll do is we'll get someone on who knows a bit more about the round ball towards the end of the week.
Yeah.
And give you an update after the first, basically, round.
But obviously the highlights are obviously all the content coming out of Germany of English fans with RAF, inflatable RAF planes and chanting about there's no more bombers in the sky. There are no more bombers in the... Anyway.
They should launch a second blitzkrieg just off the back of that disrespect, I reckon.
It's so funny because I think the officials are banning all these chants, but you can't ban...
You cannot ban a chant.
You can't ban a chant, and the more you ban it, the more they're going to sing it.
100%.
So,
it's like when you told that guy to stop saying Jonathan Thurston at the
correct.
quiz. He's just going to do
Keep
it more
on going.
and more and more.
So it's good to see that the English fans just as bonehead as predicted.
Yeah.
So there's going to be more content. I love seeing all that content coming out.
Yeah, that is powerful stuff.
And I saw the Italian fans, and I think it was...
Albania.
Yeah, and they snapped the spaghetti in front of them.
Snapping spaghetti in front of them.
And throwing it on the ground.
I know that nothing offends an Italian man more than seeing the cans of spaghetti that we eat. They're like, how can you have spaghetti in a can? So I think we should send them a bunch of spaghetti cans, whoever plays them next. Anyway, yeah, so we'll get someone on that knows a bit more about the Euros later on in the week. Let's take one more ad break and we'll come back with yours, please.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
Got a mountain of them to get through after the weekend, as you could imagine, as we watched DeChambeau line up his final putt. He's waving at someone to shut up in the crowd. He could potentially lose his head and subsequently the US Open here if he duffs this. First caller here, yours please.
Yeah, g'day fellas. Hey, just trying to think, was it the Wellington Phoenix or the Hurricanes that played the Chiefs in the weekend? There was a few theatrics on that field that don't really belong on a rugby field. I don't know. Do these boys watch too much Premier League or what? Yeah. The acting classes must be getting an absolute hounding.
Yeah, look.
Yeah. All right.
See you later. Yeah, I know. I see what he's getting at there. It was the TJ Petinata grabbing the head and rolling around on the ground after the Summer Penny Finau tackle.
Yeah.
Where
his head may have brushed his mullet, perhaps.
Yeah, it was nothing. But the fact he rolled around and holding his head drew attention to it. Then they played it so slowly, so slowly.
It was ridiculous. As slowly as Bryson DeChambeau hits this part, he rolls it in. He's won the US Open. He lets out a primal scream.
And
McIlroy can't close the US Open. Couldn't even close his own divorce.
Can't wait to watch Full Swing.
Go and steal McIlroy's car. I don't reckon he could close the door. I'm not proud of that joke.
You said it though.
A very, very theatrical town, Wellington, and there was a lot of theatrics going on in that game. Not just him, but every time someone dropped the ball, they were looking back to see what they tripped over. Blah blah blah. Yeah, dismal stuff there from the Chiefs, and also disappointingly
from the Hurricanes, not the Chiefs.
Sorry, the Hurricanes. And disappointingly, whoever is playing with DeChambeau just had a massive celebration. And now the other guy's playing with had to finish and just be like, oh, yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Is that Cantley?
I'm not entirely sure who that is. Another caller here. Yours, please.
This is a very dusty post-field days and Chiefs semi-final win. Fuck Wellington. And fuck South Canterbury.
Thanks for that.
Thank you for that.
But I forgot about that because Saturday was obviously the last day of the field days.
Yeah.
And then they straight into the semi-final. So there would have been some hand rurals.
Would have been great if that was in
the Tron.
In the Tron, yeah.
They would have sold it out for a start.
Yeah. Yeah, true. 100%. DeChambeau just threw his winning ball into the crowd after kissing it, and they dropped it. Whoever he threw it to dropped it. It's now on the course again. Jumping all over the place here. Another caller. Yours, please.
Currently feeding baby. First time listening on the iHeartRadio. Once I finish feeding baby, I'll try and match up the stream to the iHeartRadio to my rugbystreams.com and see how we go. Good game so far. Good game. Good to see the Crusaders not playing. And yeah.
Oh, good. It's always good to get a first time.
Yeah.
First time yours pleaser.
Yeah. First time caller. Look, granted, Sky Sport, dear friends of ours, not cheap. About $50 a month.
Yeah.
So I can't begrudge you for going the illegal stream route. It would be an absolute nightmare to pair our commentary with an illegal stream.
Yes, because you got to go iHeart. So first of all, you got to have two devices.
Yes.
And then
both of which are out of sync, not only with each other but with the game.
Yeah.
On top of that, you're only listening, and we don't give time updates, so I don't know how you're going to sync it.
Oh, I do a little bit, 21 minutes gone or whatever, but not exact times.
No.
Yeah. Oh, look, my advice is if you come into any sort of money, I do the full 12-month. Sky Now. In one go. Just get over and done with it. Here's my $350 or whatever it is.
If you get a tax return,
go
and do that.
Or you have a win at the Kazza, or on the horses. Spank it on a Sky, and then you don't have to worry about it because otherwise you worry about there's no sport this month. I'm going to cancel it. And then you go back again, you got to start it again. And
then you sign up with two cards and you get double charged. Fuck, mate, yeah. No, completely understand. Okay, well, next one I have at the Cass, that's exactly what I'll be doing. Another caller here, yours please.
Fuck. Fucking fuckers, fucking cunt, fuck, cunt.
Hey, this is a family show.
You cunt.
Hurricanes fan?
It has to be a Hurricanes fan. I think that was an insight into the mind of a Hurricanes fan this weekend.
That probably sums it up, doesn't it?
They were already thinking about how they were going to celebrate the championship.
That's why I don't think they sold out Sky Stadium.
Because they thought they'll come back next week.
Yeah, and they thought I'll go to the final.
Yeah.
I guarantee that was that thought process of those fans.
You know what pisses me off about that is that now that you've said that, that's probably what the Blues fans were thinking. And they were right.
Yeah.
I reckon they're still not showing up next week.
You wait till you see how many Mana fans come up that motorway.
It's going to be a home game.
It's going to be Manas in the air. Mana fans are crazy.
Yeah.
They out of all the fans, you wait.
Yeah.
You wait. And even I think Luke Jacobson said that afterwards because about 1,000 of them went down to Wellington.
Yeah.
And he said, we've got the best fans in the competition. They'll travel anywhere, so watch out, Auckland.
I got to be honest, I think they do. I think, like, just having been in Hamilton for a few of these games, the whole town, it doesn't really happen anywhere else. The whole town is in on this game.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about it. All the pubs are full with people either watching the game, about to go to the game.
I want a Dunkirk. I want anyone who's got more than 7 seats in a vehicle to offer your services this Saturday and drive Chiefs Mana fans up the motorway. You don't have to bring them back. They can find their own way back.
Yeah.
Just get them up into Auckland, get them into Eden Park. And it's take over the East Stand again. Take over the old terraces.
Full Dunkirk. Any sea-going vessel, if you've got a plane, a crop duster, a helicopter,
anything.
you get a boat, you get a car, you get a bus, a van.
You could even jet boat up the Waikato to Mirimiri, and then Mirimiri, someone else can pick them up on a tractor and take them the rest of the way.
Where does the Waikato go into the sea?
Oh, that's at Port Waikato. That's out in the coast there, because
and on the west coast
it hangs a left and goes out to the west coast. So
Quite dangerous.
it's when it hangs a left, you've got to get out, and that is about in Mirimiri or Mercer.
Yeah, well, look, if you want to go all the way up there, out the mouth of Port Waikato, go all the way around the Cape and back down to Auckland again.
Go through the Manukau Heads.
God bless you. I'm just saying, I'm all in on the Dunkirk. I'd love to see the footage of it. I'd like to think that there'll be a Blues fan out there strafing you like Tom Hardy in the movie. Just down State Highway 1.
They'll shut it off. They'll shut it off at like Rainbow's End. They'll, you know, like just form a line across the motorway at Rainbow's End.
Here they come.
Hold! Hold! And all they'll hear is as all these mana bus
It's coming over the Bombays.
Over the Bombays. It's a whole lot of mana buses.
I love that. I love that. All right, full Dunkirk. I think we've got a couple more here. Caller, yours, please.
Oh, yeah, g'day, fellas. Just in regards to the World Cup disaster, the last over G Lane, we could have won. We needed 33, and
right.
6 sixes, 36. We could have got over. That third 6 that Mitch Santner missed, and the crowd went, "Bleh." That's when the game was gone. But we could have done it. He could have been our hero, but fucking wasn't to be.
Yeah, look, you're right. We could have won it, but I just had a feeling that wasn't going to happen. Like, I mean, 6 sixes. I mean, he hit the first 2 for 6, and it was like, oh yeah, okay. To be honest with you, you're right. She's right, because I was calling it, and I was very just, oh god, here we go, and I'd given up. I hadn't even thought of the fact that he could hit 6 sixes, but obviously the third ball he just hit down the ground, but he hit another one. The fourth ball went for 6, I think, and then that was the game. But
mathematically, yes. But watching that didn't feel like, the game was gone at that point. Because as a gambling man, anytime you start thinking, well, if he hits 6 consecutive sixes, which I think has happened twice in cricket history, then we could win. It's like, sort of, your bet's done, I think, at that point.
Yeah, but good point. I mean, look, I know I did give up the ghost early because we just played so terribly.
All right, couple more here. Caller, yours, please.
Yeah, look, fellas, I just want to apologise for the Highlanders-Brumbies call. Look, to be honest, did I expect the Brumbies to be in the top 3? Absolutely fucking not. Fuck Australia. And also, I was watching the Black Caps go from 76-7 to getting thumped by the fucking West Indies. And
it's okay, man.
A mind slip. So, yeah, meant the Chiefs. Sorry, fellas.
It's not your
South
fault.
Canterbury.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
Not your fault.
I understand. It's a tough time for all of us.
This was the caller who came up and said he hoped for a Brumbies Highlanders.
No, it was worse than that. He said, what are the chances of the Highlanders making the final? Very fucking slim. Very, very slim. So, but look, I understand, man. These things take their toll. Your mind's scattered. You don't know what's real anymore, to be honest. When did this all start for the other party? How long has it been over for them? These kinds of things. So I completely understand. One more caller here. Yours, please.
Chance.
You know what I love about that the most is he had someone in the wings ready to go to do the chants harmony.
I like to think that he's just like, hold on. I got one more. And conducting her. Like, go. Chance. I don't even know what that was in reference to. I presume his try assist.
Yeah, I think, we did call for some more Warriors chants because the Warriors fans, great fans, best fans in New Zealand by far, but they're just a bit lost when it comes to
chants.
In terms of doing stuff together,
yeah,
they just get the Warriors.
Yeah.
Warriors, they need to, they've got so much room to move with, all that kind of stuff. They've got a lot to work with.
I don't know.
There's no one bringing them together. That one there, can we hear it again? Can we, I can't, just getting it over the line with the fans.
Here
she comes.
Chance.
That is brilliant. We love that. If you've got another one, send it through on the voicemail function on the iHeartRadio app as we watch Bryson DeChambeau walking up to accept the trophy for the US Open. We will knock it on the head for today. We'll see you tomorrow for a Tuesday episode of the Agenda Podcast.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda Podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.